Back when I was still having sex with men who wore Adidas slides and dirty white socks, you know the ones. I wish I could tell me then that I'd be married to like a whole pediatrician sitting outside in our backyard by the fire he built me, drinking an old fashioned, waiting for him to come downstairs to join me because he's putting our kids to bed. Marry the nerd.
That's insane. She just took all that man masculinity in one paragraph. The problem that I have with this she's stressing me out. The problem that I have with this is that she didn't find that it was a problem to go mess with the guys in the dirty socks. She's saying that other women, hey, don't worry about it. Even if you're there now, you should do it. Not a big problem. Because you can still go get the pediatrician geek nerd and have him do things for you while you sit back on your ass and just chill. The pediatrician, he's a well-paying dude. He's a well-paid dude. He takes care of his kids. He's building you fires while you sit outside on your ass and just do nothing. Just chill. While he receives the same thing the other guys received with dirty socks on. And she can sit there and flex that and think that it's not a problem at all. But it's not just her that doesn't think it's a problem. It's more women. Let's see logic.
The funny thing about that video and about the conversation going on around that video is that every man that is offended by her take is making it very evident that they are the one that wears the Adidas slides and the dirty socks. She literally just said back when she was doing that, it didn't occur to her or whatever that she would be married to a pediatrician, so a doctor, who just built a fire for her that she's sitting beside while she's drinking an old fashioned, waiting for him as he's putting the kids to bed. And then she goes, marry a nerd. And people are saying that somehow he got the short end of the deal. They're saying that she's disrespectful. They're saying that what she said is embarrassing. It's so weird to me because
I was sitting there waiting to try to get the logic behind what she just said. That it's very evident the guys that are mad at that are the men in the dirty socks. And she thinks somehow in her head that the guys in the dirty socks that was busting her cheeks for nothing are upset. Like, those guys are the stupid ones in that situation. The guys that got everything they needed out of her for nothing. Guy had to marry her, deal with her, have kids with her. Keep in mind, women that's sleeping with guys with dirty socks and those slides and whatever it is, those women are not, I don't want to say not stable, but they're not the sharpest knife in the drawer. They're not the belle of the ball. Guaranteed. That comes with a whole bunch of trauma, a whole bunch of headache. And you can tell from the original creator's voice. So, but I digress. When it comes to that she thinks that those men is the one that was stupid, and that man that is a pediatrician did not get the short end of the stick, I gotta hear how that he got the long end of the stick, if anything. How are they even? Or how she got the short end of the stick. I would love to hear this logic.
If he's the type of man that is, bringing home the bacon, right? And he made a fire for her, made sure she was set so that he could go and take the time to put the kids to bed before coming down to join her. He doesn't see anything wrong with those activities.
Yeah, that is the point. And that is the point that most men are trying to get other men, because he will see something wrong with it later on. Even the most simplest guy. Those are the men that get hurt. They get with women like her, or that come off like her. They do all this simpy shit because they have no self-respect. They have no not even an ounce of masculinity inside of them. And when they don't have no self-respect, those women walk right all over them and treat them and mistreat them bad. And mistreat them. And also talk about them on the internet as calling him the nerd. Now, keep in mind, nothing wrong with being a nerd. But the way she's referring to it is not the cool guy, not the guy that you actually want to date, not the guy that's arousing. You get him because he's going to build you a fireplace and take care of the kids like a chick. And then that's what she wants. Like, you got to get you a guy like that you can just do that to. So when the men are responding, us men, we are looking at it like, dude, why are you letting her just abuse you like that? Why do you not have that much self-respect for yourself? Because guys tend to look out for other people, even if it has no benefit to them. I don't really see women. This could be a debate. So if you're a woman, and you can definitely comment, let me know. But I don't see women doing that. I don't see women where it does not have no benefit to them. Usually women just stay back no matter what the situation is, unless the woman needs somebody dependent to her, like she's going through something and you're going to say F him. If it ain't nothing like that, women just stay back and just let the woman do whatever she's going to do. Now, when the woman leaves that was hurt or whatever it is, she just talks behind her back and says everything that she would have supposed to say in front of her face, everything that a guy would say in front of another guy's face to give him that real advice. She'll say it behind her back immediately after the girl leaves, but then try to make it seem as if she's a good person because she was there for her and she listened to her, while immediately going right behind her back and go right to her boyfriend or her friend or her other friend and be like, you don't have enough. I don't know why she's doing that. She's stupid. And it will be just like that. So the logic behind that is because he don't care. And she don't understand that as men, we care about other men, although it has no benefit to us. And we're like, dude, something is wrong with you. Wake up. That is not a deal that you want to take. And he doesn't see nothing wrong with it because he doesn't have any masculinity in him. He doesn't see anything wrong with taking a woman that would just even say that. Even if she didn't do that. Let's just say she didn't even do that. Let's just say if she was it's like Akash wife. Let's just say she did nothing to that extent. The fact that you can go on the internet and speak like that of yourself, your husband, your family, that's enough right there. Even if she was a virgin on that wedding night. Other people don't know that. That's not other people's business. So when you saying like Akash wife, but she's saying she was popping her cat on the real ones and, you know, she had a rotation of guys and like, I don't care if you want to claim virgin or whatever it was that you was when you met your husband and that's the only man you've been with, allegedly. If that's what she wants to do, fine. But the fact that you say that on the internet shows me everything that I need to know about that man, which is embarrassing.
He doesn't see anything wrong.
We know.
With making sure his wife is taken care of and happy and comfortable. So it's not a negative thing to him that he did those things. You want to know my bet? He's probably proud of the fact that he has a fine-ass wife that he gets to pamper. So he probably doesn't have a problem with her saying that on the internet. Because to him, it's just as much of a flex as it is to her.
That's a profound no. And this, I blame this on men. This is men's fault. This has nothing to do with the women. So women, keep on doing whatever you doing. If you could find a jackass to give you whatever it is just because, then you found a jackass. And I'm with you 100%. I think idiots like him deserve it. And they deserve the criticism that they get. But still, as a man, you want to let him know that criticism out loud so he can at least think to himself, like, brother, what are you doing? But we're still going to call him a fool. However, why on earth do women think, well, I know why, but women think that their value is so high just because they exist that a man is supposed to give up everything and do everything for her just to have her there? I know why. It's because of these type of men that make it seem as that way. That a person doesn't have to do anything else except exist the way you were born. Whether he thinks she's a dime piece or not. And then that's just enough for you to go work, give her everything. You want to build her a fire, let her go outside, do nothing and chill while you take care of the kids. Yeah, this is just unlike, I think, the women that do this. A man would tell another man, hell no. That is a very, very bad deal. And I would understand. Matter of fact, I would know if that was her son. She'd be like, what are you doing? What did she do? This is not to say that that woman doesn't do nothing in her situation. I'm saying the way it comes off, at least.
There are men who do not like women, who only want them sexually or so that it's like a status symbol to their friends, right? And when they see women with men who like women.
She just said that only want to be with women as a status symbol to their friends. This is right after she just said he's happy because he got a hot wife and he can take care of her. She literally just bigged him up on that. And then immediately after, demonized the men that just want to have women to sleep with them and just show them off to their friends. Not even 3 seconds later. Logic.
And who like their partners and who treat their woman well, they get triggered, even angry, and then they tell on themselves, right? It's the craziest thing to me because nothing she said was wrong, was rude, was disrespectful, was degrading, even calling him a nerd. I know plenty of men who are like, yeah, I'm a nerd. Like, it's not a bad thing, right?
So why phrase it like that? If it wasn't a bad thing, then why would she automatically go to that one spot in there that she said? She said, and even calling him a nerd, which automatically says that she knows the way it came off was a derogatory, some beneath type of term. That's why she went directly to that, because she knows that there's that type of term. If it wasn't, then she wouldn't have mentioned that. She said a whole bunch of other stuff. But she goes to calling him that. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of women that call themselves BITCHs, or I'm the baddest. You say that to a woman is no longer derogatory? We have to understand what they're saying. If that's the way it's going now, that if they can call themselves that in no shape or manner that you say it, it don't mean nothing because it's cool. It's still a cool thing to do. Let's keep that logic going.
It's funny, especially that they're like making all of these assertions about her based on a video that's like super duper short and she didn't say the things that they're like. It's just, I don't know, it's wild. Like, guys, hey, this is what a man who actually likes the woman he's with does.
That's what a woman that doesn't actually like the man does. This is exactly how women that don't really like the man that they are with, the women that just like passively got the guy that was just good for her, that's it, and that's all she liked, that's how they would act. This does not mean that creator, that's exactly what she did, but it's a guarantee the women that do that act just like that. They have no respect for him. They're going to demean him. She emasculated him on purpose. She's trying to act like she don't know that she emasculated him by saying this guy is doing everything while I sit here and I drink my fine whiskey, even though back then I was getting my cheeks clapped by Pookies. But I'm still here and I'm good. And I got this man doing whatever I want him to do and whatever he needs to do. I'm living life, even though I got my cheeks clapped by the Pookies. So that's the logic behind her head.
Like, a man who actually likes the woman he's with treats her well, goes out of her way. Let me just say, friendly reminder, ladies, this is why there is a loneliness epidemic, right? because there are men who will get on the internet and make an ass of themselves and make it evident that they don't like women, that they don't treat women well, and that they view treating women well and the woman you're treating well, talking about the fact that you treat her well, as somehow disrespect. Right?
This is the craziest part about that, because I firmly believe, my belief, and nobody gonna take it away from me. People are bad, men and women. That's just people. They're bad in certain type of ways. Men commit the most heinous crimes you could ever think of, the harshest crime, and they do it in mass. So when it comes to being a bad person, men can take the cake when it comes to that. Women's existence in general, and I'm generalizing it for sure, is based on manipulation and deception, because they have to show their aggressiveness and assertiveness in a certain way, and they can't do it physically, at least not towards a man. So therefore, they have to manipulate or deceive you in some type of way. When it comes to makeup and things of that nature, that's deception. When it comes to the way they speak and how they speak on you, that's the manipulation. If a man was to go over here, this is how I know these people, they're not slow. People try to act like, women are stupid. They're very smart. And I give it to them now. I give it to them to the highest honor is men that are stupid. The women are very smart. As she manipulates, she understands exactly whatever I'm talking about right now. Whatever you are thinking, she understands. 100%. But if we was to take her same logic and flip it, she would be the same exact one saying that the man is bad. Now, if the man says the opposite, let's say if you flip it and he was the one drinking his whiskey and outside, and his woman started treating him good, and she was doing all that, well, he say something to the nature of, like, back then when I was giving all these women everything, I had to give, and they was taking all my money, and I was buying them houses. I ain't got to do nothing for this girl, and she still do it for me because she loved me. Every woman would say, woman, leave that man. You got him on his high horse. He's sitting down drinking a whiskey with a fire that you built him, and you putting his kids to sleep as he brags about giving everything to women that give him less. He doesn't respect you. That's a guarantee that she would have said that. And she knows it. That's why I said they're not stupid. They're manipulative. So they're trying to make it seem as like that logic doesn't fit, and they don't know what the hell you talking about. Like, you're the crazy one for realizing what she's doing and emasculating a man, and then gaslight you to make you feel like you have to deal with her. You have to deal with a woman like that. And if you don't deal with her and do as she says or do what she likes, then you're a bad man because you're not making her happy. And you allow her to highlight it. Keep in mind, we all don't know exactly what goes on in their household. Hell, we don't know if she do 90% of the stuff in the house. We don't know. But what we do know is a certain type of person that would get on the internet and emasculate their man. If you watch the other video, when a woman posted a video about her man, or women that post videos about their men and try to put them down or say that what he has to do for me, she emasculates him in that way, they know what they're doing. This woman knows what she's doing. And I think, honestly, it's pure evil and it's pure manipulation. What the hell am I trying to say? Manipulation.
Right? So, like, that's why they're lonely, right? So, like, don't settle for men like that, which obviously we're not, because that...
The epidemic of loneliness, I think more men are at peace. I could be wrong, because I never, and maybe it's just because the men I'm around, but I've never met a lonely guy, a normal lonely guy. Now, obviously, there are men that are just very, very difficult and getting women, but even those dudes, they usually tend to be like chilling, like games or something like that. But let's just say, I never really met a lonely guy. Not to say that they don't exist, but I'm saying I've met more lonely women by far. It's not even close. That want to be with somebody. In fact, there's so much men that are not lonely, and so much men that are at peace that when you go to any place to go date is majority women. The men don't even show up. And then that's when you'll start seeing videos like, I went there and it was only women. I went to a church gathering to get men and it was only women. I went to a speed dating thing. It was mostly women. It was just flooded with women. The men don't even come over there. The men don't even talk. Are they the lonely ones? Or are they just at peace? And they rather go elsewhere than have to deal with that. And I think men are actually noticing it a little bit too much to their liking.